Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we
Y'all hear this? By the way,
just got in town.
and I won't. I thought this is not loud enough.
Thought in the sky. With my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder,
Baby, I wonder.
baby, I wonder,
Hey.
put your sweat on me. I got the plug, I made the call for me.
I need a bigger speaker.
Talking late night for you. Let me lay a great job on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you?
Just say you will. Yeah. Come through and chill. Hey, this is kind of like I'm saying, like, come through and chill on Earth is Cool. Come through and chill. Chill. What is up, you guys? I actually just realized that this theme song, this intro so far, because I'm changing the intro one day, but it kind of goes with, like, I'm basically saying, like, come through and chill, you know? Does that make sense? Welcome, you guys. Welcome to Earth is School. So I have been challenged by one of my very good, supportive friends to do my Earth is School episodes video. I think she said for 7 days. So here I am. And we're just trying to see which one works better. I asked you guys earlier on the live if you guys liked me doing video or you liked audio, and it's always half and half. I'm such a Libra with it too, because I want to do both, but I just don't even know. So let's just try this. Let's see if this will make sense for the next 7 days for me to do video. If you have things to do, you can still listen and you don't have to watch, because people were like, well, it's good for us when you have things to do, and I'm with that. And I want you guys to be able to listen. This was cute in the video earlier. Girl, I just love y'all because y'all be seeing something totally different. That granny dress I had on earlier, like, I appreciate you, sis. Thank you. Now, it's funny because the topic today, it actually sounds like what I just said. But that is truthful. I totally was like trying to be like right here so y'all wouldn't see my dress. So I really like that you actually liked it. Thank you. Like, that tells me a lot. So yes, let's try this. We're gonna try to do these episodes for this next week, and we're gonna look at the numbers and see what's the difference, what you guys like more or less, or if I should just go back to audio. So now you guys get to see me doing this breathing, right? We're going to start with our breathing. Hopefully you guys can hear me and the fan isn't too much. So, hey. What's up, Rox? Welcome. I really want to I need to remember to find out how to make you guys moderators, because I forgot how to do it. Okay, Brittany's live says, she says, I'm okay with either way. So let's try it, you guys. All right, so let's start off with our breathing, right? You guys know that on Earth is School, because we have been holding on to things from yesterday after the podcast and then earlier all day today, we let go. This is the space where we let go, where we strengthen our core, we open up our core and strengthen it in, we breathe everything in and then push it out. So real quick, exactly, she said message gets across, okay? So real quick, let's do this. 2 breaths, okay? We're going to breathe it in, and you're going to push your navel to your back and hold it up and all that good stuff, okay? All All right, on three, 1, 2, 3, breathing in. Hold it, hold it. Up, 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 up. Holding it, and release. Obviously, I can only do like a semi one when I instruct you guys, right? Okay, this is so good though. I do this every single day. I do not skip days. And my core is so strong. All right, second one, this one, we use more strength, more pull. You're gonna pull it in and you're gonna hold it a little bit longer. All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3, pulling it in. You should feel your tummy getting tighter. Pulling it in, up, 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 up. Holding it up. Suck it in. Just a little bit longer, holding it. And release. Nice. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, let's get to today's episode. We're going to talk about receiving compliments. We're going to talk about receiving compliments today. What does that like? What does that feel like when you guys are receiving compliments? There really is this thing about us, about some people, a lot of us, I think a bunch of us, not being able to receive compliments. And so I'm going to break down what that means when you struggle to receive compliments and why it's so important for you to do that. Also, I just thought about something I need to add because I'm not going to say why, but okay. Okay, let me just leave this note. Okay. So, are you good at receiving compliments? Are you good at receiving compliments? Do you take them in, or do you feel like you are obligated to give someone else a compliment in return? So, how do you receive compliments and people saying nice things to you? I noticed that a lot of women have an issue. We struggle with receiving compliments, and especially moms who have like mom guilt. Who I believe that every mom has dealt with some level of mom guilt. But yeah, if you are a mother and if you've dealt with mom guilt, or if you've dealt with some self-esteem issues and just kind of feeling iffy about your body because of its changes and stuff, these are people that I very often see this issue with. But I also believe that, I've seen men have this problem as well, and just not being that good at receiving compliments and people saying nice things to them. I actually used to feel this way with myself not too long ago. Like, I've talked about this on my other platforms. I believe I posted it on YouTube too, where just last year, I don't even know for how long, probably forever, but just last year, I started to shift my mind in how I would receive compliments about my motherhood. Because for myself, I had my own mom guilt that you guys have seen me talk about from me getting sick. The year that I got sick with POS and I couldn't even look at the kids, I couldn't even be around them. That was a whole thing. And so just from there, yeah, I would say, so that's like, it's been like the last 5 years. And I've overcome that. That's no longer a thing, but it was a thing. It was a huge thing for me. And when people would say that I was a good mother, I would just feel something inside of me. I would just be like, yuck, and I would respond with thank you, but I would feel disgusting. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't feel like I am on the level that I need to be on. Like, just being really hard on myself and not giving myself grace. So that was a huge thing for me, and I'm certain that a lot of you guys can relate, because when I do my sessions with women that have children, often it comes out. Often there's some type of mom guilt that comes out, and you might not notice it, but if you are dealing with that, then most likely you do have a problem receiving compliments in that area, or just compliments in general. So let's see what else here I wrote. Yeah, so the thing is that if you struggle with, or if you can admit and be honest with yourself about you struggling to receive compliments, then it's really good because that is a detector about where your self-esteem is, sometimes in general and sometimes just in that area. It might be a particular compliment, like the one I just gave an example of, that you struggle to receive, or it could be compliments in general. But the fact is that this is a breadcrumb, okay? What I call breadcrumb, it's a clue. It's a very major detector to show you where your self-esteem is, where your self-worth is when it comes to this. So real quick, let me look at the comments before I go further. Uh-oh. My bad. Let me read the comments real quick. Okay. I used to be uncomfortable receiving them, but now I accept them. Oh, good. But not with mom. Yeah, I feel like before I got sick, I had an issue receiving them sometimes. I definitely would feel some kind of way. It's like a confidence thing, you know? Like in my early 20s, I remember feeling that way. Yes, Smiley Coast. One day. That's right. You know what? I'm creating a membership, like a personal group where I'm going to be sharing like all things of my personal life and certain things. I'm also creating one for manifesting, and I need to do one for women that want to manifest having children, because I'm always speaking to women that want children, and we can make it happen. I used to accept but knock myself at the same time, as it's still finding something wrong. Exactly. We're going to get into that. Yes, we are going to get into that. Yes. Okay, mommy of 3. I hated that because I'm like, wow, that's not true. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, y'all. Let's get into it. Good advice about the correlation between ability to accept compliments and self-esteem. This is great info. Thank you. Oh, yes, we are about to get into this because I know this is a thing. I think we all deal with this at some point. Our parents just don't know to teach us this kind of stuff. So you just winging it. You're just out there by default, just figuring it out, you know? So I talked about it being a detector, right? And then I said, if you feel obligated to give it back, then one of the things that this shows you is that you are used to being in the giving mode and not in the receiving mode. So who remembers our episode on being in the receiving mode, which I'm also going to talk about in a second. I be trying not to jump ahead. So if you get a compliment and you feel like you have to give it back, you are used to being in the giving mode and not in the receiving mode. You are used to serving and giving, and you haven't been in the position enough to receive. And so it's just like an automatic like response almost to give it back because you're always giving. If you want to be in a place of self-worth where you can embrace, well, not if you want to be, but you want to be in a place of self-worth where you can when you can embrace and own the compliments that belong to you, because that is being in the receiving mode. So these are compliments that belong to you. When someone is noticing something about you, whether it is a compliment on your beauty or a characteristic trait that you have, anything, it belongs to you. It's yours. So you giving it back is literally blocking yourself from being in the receiving mode. You're just saying like, this isn't mine. I can't even take this. I can't even take this good thing. This good thing that is for me, that is supposed to feel good. I can't even handle it right now. What does that say? That says a lot, right? Because compliments are supposed to feed us. Compliments are supposed to give us joy and confidence. Compliments give you confidence. So the fact that we have a chance to experience that, and then instead, because we're so used to not receiving and we're dealing with whatever inner guilt inner illusions that we deal with, we're literally giving something good back. That right there is most definitely putting you in the place of not receiving. So I think I listed some examples here. Know that you don't owe anything to anyone because they acknowledged and uplifted you. And pay attention to your reaction when you get a compliment. If you say things like, yeah, I'm trying, this is a normal response. I hear women do this all the time. Someone will say, oh my God, you did so good on that thing. Oh my God, I love the way that thing looked that you created or whatever. Or even on someone dressing well, and we'll be like, yeah, I'm trying, I've been trying. That's like, this response to me is just as normal as someone asking, how are you doing? How's your day? And we say, I'm fine. It's just one of them involuntary. You don't even think about it. You just naturally do it, but it is unintentional. And you want to be more intentional with your response to these compliments. You don't want to be saying that you're trying. You're not. Don't say that. Don't say, yeah, I just been trying. Yeah, I've been trying. Don't say that. That's my best advice on that. Just don't say that, okay? Don't say I've been trying, or if you explain a struggle or something negative or opposite of what they were complimenting. So often we'll be like, okay, this is going to be a good example because there's two different things. Earlier, I made a video about I was giving gratitude about the birth work that I do. And one of my friends messaged me and was like, you were so cute on that video. But I thought I looked crazy. I even said in the video, I know I look crazy, but I was like, I don't care because I have to express this, right? So this is different because when she complimented me, I was like, oh, thank you. Like, thank you so much. We were like, I did not think I looked good in that. But that's not the same. That was something that I truly did believe. And so I was telling her how often when I'm thinking that I'm looking good, somebody's like, girl, what happened to it? And then when I'm thinking that I'm looking bad on my platform or something, people are like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. So that's what I was explaining to her. That is different. What I'm talking about is when people compliment you and you feel like every time you get a compliment, you have to match it with something negative or some kind of struggle that you went through to get that thing. Very similar to the I'm trying, but it would look more so like, oh, wow, you look so beautiful on that live. Oh, really? Thank you. Because, it was just really, really hard. And I just really don't, I don't ever feel like I look good. And and it just goes into this whole thing where you feel like you have to do that every time that you get a compliment. There's a difference in that, okay? And you just don't want to be matching your compliments with the opposite, with these stories of struggle and these things that it's almost like you are dimming your light. It's almost like if someone lifts you up, you feel like, oh my God, I'm too high. Let me go back down to where I feel more comfortable and more safe. You have to ask yourself if this is what you're feeling when people are saying nice things to you, when you're being complimented, because it says everything. It's telling you so much about yourself. See, I just jumped ahead because I wasn't supposed to share that part yet, but here we go. So let me read some of the comments before we go on. Good advice about, okay, sorry. Women, we are so hard on ourselves. Ooh, this is definitely a real comment. We are so hard on ourselves. Like, we are extra. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, you guys. That's why this year, like, I'm not, I do my own thing when it comes to the new year. I kind of celebrate the new year twice a year. Like in springtime, okay, 3 times. Springtime, my birthday, and then the new year in January. But I definitely set up new year goals. And so this year, I really made it a thing for me to have more grace on myself. I was just like, and I'm almost questioning on how I even knew that I needed that. Because normally that's not like a New Year's resolution, Normally it's like a body goal or some type of disciplinary goal or something. But this year I was like, I don't want to do nothing but just have grace on myself. And I knew specifically that I was struggling with accepting my past and, of what I had went through in my pregnancy and having to neglect the kids. And I was just like, I don't want to feel that anymore. I want to feel when people are complimenting me, and especially people that know me, because what I would do is I would like internalize the compliments. Like people who didn't know me, and they would just like see a video or see me from the outside, and they would be like, "Oh, you're such a great mom," and I would be like, "Oh, they don't know me. They don't know. They don't know the mistakes I made, you know." And then people that did know me, that would be like, "I'm watching you every day. Like I'm here with you." Then I would just like find a way to like make that not a real thing. Like, how do you? Why are you even doing this to yourself? Like, that's crazy. But it has to do with guilt. Guilt is a deep thing. I have not had a session yet with a mother that where mother guilt did not come out in some form. Sometimes it's guilt from whenever we first got pregnant, something happened. Sometimes it's those first few years. It can be later on if someone has an adult child. But I have not had a session, and I've done over 30, 50 sessions, and I haven't had one where a mom's mother guilt didn't come out. That says a lot. Like I have my own newfound philosophy when it comes to this, because we really are hard on ourselves. We really do. Like we are our worst enemies, or we can be. So the thing is, practice thanking people for their compliments, and that's it. Like practice just saying thank you. I did this a long time ago. Before I ended up sick with that incident, I remember feeling this way in my like mid 20s. And I was just like, I was living in LA, and I was really like networking. And LA was a huge thing for me and my confidence, because I did the big chop. That was really what like really brought my confidence to be what it is today, was me doing my big chop. And because I felt really ugly when I did it. I was like, oh my God, why did y'all let me do this? I tried to cover it up. I went through a whole journey with myself and my hair at that time. And I was out networking, and people would compliment me all the time, and I just felt like I had to give it back to them. And I started noticing it. Like my inner dialogue would be like, what are you doing? Like you are so bomb, girl. Like you need to be like, thank you, and that's it. Like, thank you and scene. Okay? But instead, we're like, thank you. Oh, and well, no. You need to practice saying thank you, close. Okay? Move on. Move on, or you can even give more gratitude. Thank you so much for expressing that to me. I really appreciate these words. This is so important that you get into the practice of just saying thank you and scene. All right. The next time someone says something nice to you, the next time someone compliments you, practice just saying thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just feeling, say to yourself, I deserve this. I give myself grace. I deserve this compliment. I give myself grace. That's a really good affirmation to do mentally when someone is complimenting you. So yeah, that's what you give back and embrace. So that's what you give back. If you still want to feel like you need to give something back, you are giving something back. It's a thank you. You see? You're giving back appreciation. You're acknowledging it, which is actually really good. You ever compliment somebody and they don't say nothing? Ew. I feel like women, we can do that to each other sometimes. Like you ever compliment a sister and she's just out in public and she don't even say nothing, like, you know what? I'll take my compliment back. So let the compliment do what it was meant to do. If someone is complimenting you on your beauty or whatever with your business, embrace it. Bring it in, allow it to feel itself with you, because I don't care what no one says. People are like, you shouldn't want validation. I've talked about this before. I love validation. I don't think that validation is a bad thing. I think that when you are out like seeking it, and you're doing things to get it, then it can turn into a bad thing. But we actually need validation. I don't care how dope you are. I don't care how bomb you know that you are. Like I have like extremes of confidence. Like I'm pretty grounded on who I am and what I want and where I'm going. And my friends will tell you, I do not be trying to act like I'm just always on my A game with how I feel, because to me, it's human. To me, it's not even like it would make sense. Like some of the most confident people on this earth still have moments of doubt, or not even, it doesn't have to be a moment of doubt. It can just be where you just are not seeing yourself in the light that you really are in. Sometimes we don't see the level, the levels of our potential. And that's the point of us being here with each other. If it didn't matter, then you would have just came here by yourself. You could just be in your own world, literally your own realm on your own. But we reflect off of each other. We need each other. There's so many things that someone could see in you that you may be able to acknowledge in yourself, but you will not be able to see it on the level that you can see it. Because unless you're looking in a mirror, aka another human being, you can't see yourself, right? Like you ever like try to look at this. I can't see myself. You see? I can't see myself. So we really like validation to me is a good thing. It's a problem whenever you are seeking validation. And I think that we should embrace validation. I am always so grateful when my friends and my family are complimenting me, because I know that when times are hard, when things get a little rocky, when something is going wrong with maybe something that I'm trying to create or do, it is those compliments. It is that validation, that confirmation that my supporters and my friends have given me that helped me to go on. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually really dope. Like that's beautiful. Right? That's interesting. The mother guilt comes out in every single session. Yes. Oh my God. It really made me like, I need to write a book on this. Like, I got like 100 books in my head and that I've already like started but haven't finished. Yeah, it's a phenomenon. Like it's a new like concept that I have found throughout my practice. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is a whole thing that no one ever talks about. That's good advice to practice saying thank you. That's exactly what I do now. Yes. See it in your mind. Thank you and seen. Thank you and seen. That's it. Because I remember this feeling, and I used to feel like I had to say more. I used to feel like I have to give you more because this is awkward now. Like if I just say thank you, we're just going to sit here, or like what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. The compliment is out there. Think about when you compliment someone. When you give someone a compliment and you're coming from a genuine place, you don't feel awkward after they say thank you. This is just an illusion that we create because we're not used to being in the receiving mode. Because we're not really living in our worth. We're not really flowing in our worth, in our self-worth. Ew, laughing out loud. Yes, that's happened. You compliment someone and then I cannot stand that. I'm like, you know what? Snatch your bag. Excuse me. Did you hear me? Because I said you were beautiful. Yeah, that's happened to me quite a few times. I feel like it happens a lot when I'm in Atlanta. I don't know. It's just a random thing I noticed. Like, what is wrong with y'all, these compliments? But the truth is that, and this is why we have to have grace on ourselves and grace on each other, because we could be complimenting women that aren't used to being in the receiving mode. That could be why that's happening. Like, she could have actually heard you and just not know how to react to something that feels so good but feels so awkward. That's crazy. That's not cool, man. That's not cool to be out here living and we don't even realize that this is supposed to feel good to us. Like, we have to overcome this. That's amazing. Right. They got on their ear pod. Right? That's hilarious. That's probably really true. So yes, you guys, look at this, 29 minutes. And I said I could not do an episode in 30 minutes. So that concludes our Earth is School episode. You guys, let me know if you have any questions or anything that you want to share. Please thumbs up, please hit the super thanks button. Your girl is trying to invest in this podcast. I need to get a microphone, and I also want this to go towards Apple and other platforms. So if you want to support my channel and my podcast, then you can do so by sharing. That is free. You can do so by hitting the thumbs up, letting YouTube know that Earth is School needs to be the #1 in the world podcast. That it is, okay? We're in it right now. That Earth is School is the #1 podcast in the world, okay? That is changing lives. And then also you can hit the super thanks button. I really appreciate you guys. You're so welcome. You said, wow, Atlanta. Yes. You're so welcome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming in. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Earth is School. Your girl is on a roll, and I hope that it is inspiring you like it's inspiring me. You know it's real when you're inspiring yourself. I'm like, hey, I'm inspired. I've been doing this for like 10 days. Like, yes. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Again, share, thumbs up, super thanks. Let someone know that you listen to this or you watch this podcast every night, and share what it does for you, this community that we are building here. All right. Don't forget that Earth is School. We're always learning. We're using our inner dialogue. We are releasing anything that we are trying to control and hold on to, because these are the lessons that we came here to learn. Without a doubt. All right, y'all. Peace out. Thank you for rolling with us.